Starting with our preliminary prayers, enthused by great compassion, you taught the Immaculate Dharma to dispel all perverted views. To you, the Buddha Gautama, I pay homage. Enthused by great compassion, you taught the Immaculate Dharma to dispel all perverted views. To you, the Buddha Gautama, I pay homage. Enthused by great compassion, you taught the Immaculate Dharma to dispel all perverted views. To you, the Buddha Gautama, I pay homage. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. By my accumulation of the practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. By my accumulations of the practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. By my accumulations of the practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. Independent origination, there is no ceasing, no arising, no annihilation, no permanence, no coming, no going, no separateness, and no sameness. I prostrate to the consummate Buddha, the supreme among all teachers, the one who taught this peace, which is freed of elaborations. I prostrate to the mothers of the hearers, the Bodhisattvas and the Buddhas, which through the knowledge of all lead hearers seeking pacification to complete peace, which through the knowledge of paths causes those helping migrators to achieve the aims of the world, and through the possession of which helps subdue as expound a variety of teachings. The one who is transformed into the reliable guide, motivated by altruism to benefit sentient beings, the teacher, Sugata, and protector, to you I make prostrations. The one who has illuminated the web of conceptualizations and is endowed with the divine bodies of the vast and the profound, who eternally shines forth the forever noble light rays, to you, the Buddha, I make prostrations. Inspired by wisdom and compassion, today in the Buddha's presence, I generate the mind of full awakening for the benefit of all sentient beings. The mantra of dependent origination. Om ye dharma hetu prabhava hetun tesham tathagato hyavadat tesham chayo nirodha evam badi mahashramanaye swaha. Om ye dharma hetu prabhava hetun tesham tathagato hyavadat tesham chayo nirodha evam badi mahashramanaye. Om ye dharma hetu prabhava hetun tesham tathagato hyavadat tesham chayo nirodha evam badi mahashramanaye swaha. All phenomena arise from causes. The causes are taught by the Tathagata. The cessation of the causes as well is taught by the great seer. Beyond utterance, thought, and expression is the perfection of wisdom, which is unborn, unseized, and has the nature of space. It is the object of apprehension of self-realized wisdom. To you, the mother of the Buddhas of the three times, I pay obeisance. All composite things are impermanent. All contaminated things are of the nature of suffering. All phenomena of the nature of emptiness and selflessness. Transcending sorrow is peace. The Guru is the Buddha, the Guru is the Dharma. Likewise, the Guru is the Sangha. The Guru is the source of everything wholesome, for refuge in the Guru. By the sound of the vibrant drum of Dharma, you liberate all beings of miseries. I beseech you to kindly remain and give teachings until the end of the expanse of billions of eons. The Buddha does not wash the negative deeds of beings, nor does he remove the miseries by his hands. His spiritual realizations are not transformed to them, are not transferred to them. It is by teaching the truth of suchness that beings are liberated. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered in misery's gloom. If you're attached to this life, you're not a spiritual practitioner. If you're attached to samsara, you have no renunciation. If you're attached to your own self-interest, you have no bodhicitta. If there is grasping, you do not have the view. Praise to Shakyamuni Buddha, to the founder, the endowed transcendent destroyer, the one gone beyond, the foe destroyer, the completely perfected, fully awakened being, perfect in knowledge and in good conduct, Sugata, knower of the world, supreme guide of human beings to be tamed, teacher of gods and human beings, to you, the completely and fully awakened one, the endowed transcendent destroyer, the glorious conqueror, the subduer from the Shakya clan, I prostrate, make offerings, and go for refuge. To the founder, the endowed transcendent destroyer, the one gone beyond, the foe destroyer, the completely perfected, fully awakened being, perfect in knowledge and in good conduct, Sugata, knower of the world, supreme God of human beings to be tamed, teacher of gods and human beings, to you, the completely and fully awakened one, the endowed transcendent destroyer, the glorious conqueror, the subduer from the Shakya clan, I prostrate, make offerings, and go for refuge. To the founder, the endowed transcendent destroyer, the one gone beyond, the foe destroyer, the completely perfected, fully awakened being, perfect in knowledge and in good conduct, Sugata, knower of the world, supreme God of human beings to be tamed, teacher of gods and human beings, to you, the completely and fully awakened one, the endowed transcendent destroyer, the glorious conqueror, the subduer from the Shakya clan, I prostrate, make offerings, and go for refuge. When, O supreme among humans, you were born on this earth, you paced out 7 strides and said, I am supreme in this world. To you who were wise then, I prostrate. With pure bodies, formed supremely pure, wisdom ocean like a golden mountain, fame that blazes in the 3 worlds, winner of the best, Lord, to you I prostrate. With the supreme signs, face like a spotless moon, color like gold, to you I prostrate. Dust free like you, the 3 worlds are not. Incomparable, wise one, to you I prostrate. The Savior having great compassion, the founder having all understanding, the field of merit with qualities like a vast ocean, to you, the Tathagata, I prostrate. The purity that frees one from attachment, the virtue that frees one from the lower realms, the one path, the sublime pure reality, to the dharma that pacifies, I prostrate. Those who are liberated and also show the path of liberation, the holy field qualified with realizations, who are devoted to the moral precepts, to you, the Sangha, I prostrate. Do not commit any non-virtuous actions, perform only perfect virtuous actions, subdue your mind thoroughly. This is the teaching of the Buddha. A star, a visual aberration, a flame of a lamp, an illusion, a drop of dew or a bubble, a dream, a flash of lightning, a cloud. See conditioned things as such. Through these merits may sentient beings attain the rank of all-seeing, subdue the foe of false, and be delivered from samsara's ocean, perturbed by the waves of aging, sickness, and death. Heart Sutra Mantra. Tayatha Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasam Gate Bodhi Swaha. Tayatha Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasam Gate Bodhi Swaha. Tayatha Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasam Gate Bodhi Swaha. Tayatha Gate Gate Paragate Parasam Gate Bodhi Swaha. Tayatha Gate Gate Paragate Parasam Gate Bodhi Swaha. Tayatha Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasam Gate Bodhi Swaha. Tayatha Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasam Gate Bodhi Swaha. I go for refuge to the triple gem. I confess the negativities individually. I rejoice in the virtues of all the beings. I hold the precious Buddhahood in my heart. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, Dharma, and the Supreme Sangha. I generate the mind of bodhicitta to resolutely accomplish the aims of others and myself. Having generated the mind of supreme enlightenment, bodhicitta, I invite all sentient beings to be my guests and shall engage in the delightful and excellent practices of full enlightenment. May I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge to the triple gem. I confess the negativities individually. I rejoice in the virtues of all the beings. I hold the precious Buddhahood in my heart. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, Dharma, and the Supreme Sangha. I generate the mind of bodhicitta to resolutely accomplish the aims of others and myself. Having generated the mind of supreme enlightenment, bodhicitta, I shall invite all sentient beings to be my guests and shall engage in the delightful and excellent practices of full enlightenment. May I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge to the triple gem. I confess the negativities individually. I rejoice in the virtues of all the beings. I hold the precious Buddhahood in my heart. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, Dharma, and the Supreme Sangha. I generate the mind of bodhicitta to resolutely accomplish the aims of others and myself. Having generated the mind of supreme enlightenment, bodhicitta, I invite all sentient beings to be my guests and shall engage in the delightful and excellent practices of full enlightenment. May I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. Gurus, Buddhas, and Bodhisattvas, please pay heed to me. Just as the previous Buddhas have generated the mind of bodhicitta, and just as they successively dwelt in the Bodhisattva practices, likewise, for the benefit of all sentient beings, I will generate the mind of bodhicitta, and likewise shall I too successively train in the Bodhisattva practices. Gurus, Buddhas, and Bodhisattvas, please pay heed to me. Just as the previous Buddhas have generated the mind of bodhicitta, and just as they successively dwelt in the Bodhisattva practices, likewise, for the benefit of all sentient beings, I will generate the mind of bodhicitta, and likewise shall I too successively train in the Bodhisattva practice. Gurus, Buddhas, and Bodhisattvas, please pay heed to me. Just as the previous Buddhas have generated the mind of bodhicitta, and just as they successively dwelt in the Bodhisattva practices, likewise, for the benefit of all sentient beings, I will generate the mind of bodhicitta, and likewise shall I too successively train in the Bodhisattva practices.
Thank you, Sneh, and all the participants. Now, why not we do a 5-minute meditation single point of meditation. And whatever meditation you like to do, breath, sensation, Buddha image, or the awareness, emptiness, bodhicitta in 5 minutes. Just let's do that. And the most important thing is how to make sure that the our mind does not fall under the prey of mental laxity and excitement. If these two things happen, apply the remedies, introspection and mindfulness. Ready? 5 minutes. Okay, Sneh, screen sharing. Okay, we have a few verses to go through, which are a little technical. Then the after a while, then it's all about not really about the philosophy, it's more about the compassion element. And then so that would be, we can just read this, even if each one of us, we read it ourselves, we'll come to understand it. That's the easy part. Few verses to go through, which are a little more technical. Okay, verse 41. Either within or likewise without, or somewhere in between the two, the conquerors have never found the mind. So the mind has the nature of an illusion. So even this mind, in other words, what we learn is that if anything that exists in the universe, they don't really have an intrinsic reality. They're like dream. And when I say they're like dream, we may not get anything from what I'm saying, but with the physical objects, from the point of view of the physics, like quantum physics, we do understand something that and even from the point of view of the particle physics, we see that things are just made of atoms, and whereas what we call as, let's say, this a beautiful flower, raise a flower. It's just a bunch of atoms. You don't find the flower. So likewise, as a human being, male, female, so forth, we're going to be discussed in the next verse. Even that is also nothing but made of the atoms. And on the atomic level, there's no gender, male, female, doesn't make any sense. It's purely somehow how our mind projects and sees things as males and females. So related to physical reality, physical objects, what constitute physical objects, physical parts, the emptiness is relatively, we can get some idea. And of course, to fine tune understanding of the emptiness, we need to study the emptiness presented by the different Buddhist schools. But for the mind, that is a little the difficult, because the presentation of the emptiness of the mind, as mentioned here, either within or likewise without, or somewhere in between the two, the conquerors have never found the mind as intrinsically real. And so the mind has the nature of the illusion. So the emptiness of mind, there's again a separate, it's not really a separate as such, but then yet, because that mind is a little tricky, it's not something tangible as a physical body. In the first place, identifying what the mind is quite challenged. Once you identify what mind is, then seeing the emptiness of the mind, it involves more effort. So I don't know whether we'll get time this time. It doesn't matter, but there is a method to understand how the mind is illusion-like, and then meditate on the emptiness of the mind. And it says that if one understands the emptiness of the mind, seeing the emptiness of the flower, seeing the emptiness of the self, seeing the emptiness of one's body, versus seeing the emptiness of the mind, the Buddha, Arimathea, they all indicated that seeing the emptiness of the mind is way, way, way more powerful to cleanse our mind of mental defilements, to counteract, to combat the self-grasping ignorance. So this is something that we need to really keep in mind. And the point is that we're not to give up. Wisdom emptiness, and of course, this is a technical, but always keep in mind that simply because you say it's technical, you try to shirk, you try to avoid it, it will not really help us. And then the best thing is try to take it as a challenge. We all have the Buddha nature. And we all have the Buddha nature. Just keep striving in this direction to study more, reflect more, study more, keep studying something. And you see that gradually your intelligence builds up. and the pace you're learning will speed up. So this is how it works. And then gradually, over time, say the mere reflection and emptiness will give you such a joy. When you find a joy, you just feel like pursuing that. So we will eventually reach to that level where we'll find joy in studying reflective matter and emptiness. 42. The distinction of colors, shapes, order of object and subject, of male, female, neuter. Say as I mentioned earlier, the male, female, you just look at the person, oh, he's a male, she's a female. We make this distinction, but if you think very carefully, just look on the atomic level. First, the person who you describe as a male or female, see that this person is nothing but made of numerous organs. And these organs are made of numerous cells. And the cells are made of numerous the molecules. And the molecules are made of numerous atoms. And on the atomic level, there's no the distinction between the males, females, neuter, and so forth. And it's all just the same. But then where is this coming from? To somebody's male, female, and so forth. Where is it coming from? It's purely a mental projection. From the object, there's no intrinsic in the entity as male, female, neuter, and so forth. It's all coming from mind. And with this reflection, just go on the atomic level. Luckily that how we see ourselves as male, female, and so forth. And this is this is all related to the body, and the body we can go to the atomic level, and on the atomic level all these distinctions simply dissolve. So you just ask, where is this distinction, male, female, neuter, and so forth? Then the only answer that you'll be left with is a purely subjective projection. Behind that, there's nothing there. Yet there's a tendency that we can fall into nihilism, seeing that there's no gender on the basis of the intrinsic objectively. Then you may think that this is just purely nothing. Nothing's really there. There's also a problem, this nihilism. The point is that gender is there, gender distinction there, but distinction makes sense only through subjective imputation. On the subjective level, everything functions so efficaciously and infallibly. So infallible, dependent origination is operating. It's not that nothing exists, dependent origination exists. Even dependent origination also exists as like illusion. 43. In brief, the Buddhas have never seen, nor will they ever see, such a mind as intrinsically real. So how can they see it as having intrinsic nature, that which is devoid of intrinsic nature? 44. Entity is a conceptualization, what we call as an entity. What do you call as an entity, or the flower there, a person, and so forth. These are all how our mind conceptualizes. For example, the flower, it's just a bunch of atoms. And the atoms, you see protons, neutrons, electrons. That's it. And we also made of protons, electrons, neutrons. And on that level, protons, the proton of the flowers, the protons of the flower and the protons of our body. There's no difference. Individual protons, there's no difference. And then which we said what we see as a distinction is a flower, non-flower, human being, so forth. This is all purely subjective conceptualization. Absence of conceptualization, if keeping aside the conceptualization, what is really there? From the object, there's nothing there, is empty. Absence of conceptualization is emptiness. Where conceptualization occurs, how can there be emptiness? So the moment you conceptualize, you start to create the dream. The moment you are in the dream, you then cannot see the emptiness of the dream as real. You will see the dream as real. So you will not see the emptiness. 45. In other words, what we are doing now, even in the waking state, what we see is a waking state. Actually, this is also a form of a dream, unconventional dream, projected by our self-grasping ignorance. 45. The mind in terms of the perceived and perceiver. This the Tathagata have never seen. Same, object, the intrinsic perceiver, intrinsic perceived and perceiver, as intrinsically real. And the Buddha has never seen that. This is all like the movie projected by mind. And from the object, there's nothing there as a perceiver perceived. Say the movie, say a very nice movie and very bad movie. These are both coming from the films. The films. And you cannot say this film is bad, this film is bad, good. Just film. You break you cut the films or film of the good movie, film of the bad movie. The film is just same. There's nothing there. From the object, there's no difference. But our mind then creates a sense of distinction there. Is perceived, is perceived, and so forth. Where there is the perceived and perceived, there is no enlightenment. Where you have seen, where you are in the dream, enlightenment is like waking up. Buddha is revered as the fully awakened one. Fully awakened one. Which means that in the dream, you're not awakened. You come out of the dream, then you're awakened. So in the dream, you see dream as real. So at the moment we are in the dream of ignorance, we see things as real. So where you see things as real, there's no enlightenment. Where there's perceived and perceiver, there's no enlightenment. Devoid of characteristics and origination, devoid of substantive reality and transcending space, awakened of mind and body, enlightenment possess characteristics of non-duality. So, what is the reality out there? What's the true reality? Devoid of characteristics that, oh, this flower has many characteristics, that this person has so many good qualities and so forth. There's all projection one's from mind. It's not that they don't exist. They exist. They exist subjectively. Let's not forget it. And origination, devoid of substantive reality, and devoid of the transcending speech, and the space-like reality. Awakening mind and enlightenment possess the characteristics of non-duality, meaning that when it says duality, object subject duality, this all dissolved in the experience of the waking up. When you wake up, or it says dreaming, these are the contents of dream, and it was my mind dreaming. This distinction stops when you wake up. 47. Those abiding in the heart of enlightenment, such as Buddhas, the great beings, and all the great compassionate ones, always understand emptiness to be like space. For them, it is a waking up. You wake up, all the dream, you see this like a space. It's just empty. There's no substance there. 48. Therefore, constantly meditate on this emptiness. So, in other words, to see that everything is like a dream. When you see the dream as dream, when you wake up, so we have to try to put effort to understand that everything is like a dream coming from our mind. Everything is subjective real. We have to meditate on this more and more. The basis of all phenomena, tranquil. And if you experience this emptiness, it says the great masters, they say that of course, you'll have the initial experiences like goosebumps, and they say you just feel like crying. And then the extremely tranquil feeling can come at the core of your heart. And like illusion, groundless and destroyer of cyclic existence, understand which will destroy your samsaric existence. 49. As non-origination, meaning that no intrinsic origination, and as emptiness, or as no self, grasping at the emptiness as such, on who meditates on a lesser truth meaning that the friend Vaibhashika, Sautrantika, Chittamatra, Madhyamaka, they're all following the Buddha's teachings. But what they differ, in what way these four schools differ, is that lower schools, their understanding of the understanding of reality is very gross in comparison with those of the higher schools. So one who meditates on the lesser truth meaning truth as espoused by the lower schools, that is not true meditation. The true meditation is meditation of emptiness of intrinsic reality. 15. The notions of virtue and non-virtue, characterized by being momentary and disintegrated, the Buddha has spoken of their emptiness. So, like in dreams, virtues, non-virtues, do they exist? Answer is yes, they do exist, but they exist purely as subjective. But when you see the dream as subjective? Only when you wake up. So we have to wake up from the sleep of ignorance to see that everything is purely subjective. On a subjective level, yes, things exist. It's not that nothing exists. Things do exist. And oftentimes, many of the people particularly following the Western philosophy and who study philosophy as their subject, when they read Nagarjuna philosophy, oftentimes they classify Nagarjuna as nihilistic, or they classify Nagarjuna as idealistic. So these are all because of the failure to understand the depth of the Nagarjuna's philosophy. And if we really want to know the Nagarjuna philosophy so well, all these fine distinctions, nuances will be seen, teased apart by Lama Tsongkhapa in his book. And lucky that now we are very fortunate that we have the Lama Tsongkhapa's book in English, and that too translated by Dr. Tutenjabala, amazingly brilliant scholar and really, truly accomplished scholar. And this book is available now. Intent of what is that? Illuminating the intent. This book, Lama Tsongkhapa's commentary on Acharya Chandrakriti's text. It is available now in English. So in the past, even if you want to spend like billions of dollars to get this book in English, you cannot. Now you can get it just for like, so what is that? Like in American dollar, in 40 US dollars, you can get this book. In the past, even if you have billions of dollars you want to give to get this book, you will not get in English of this high quality. So now that this is available, I would say that people are very fortunate to have this book. The book is Illuminating the True Intent by Lama Tsongkhapa, available in English. So particularly people who are English dependent, I would say that you must not miss to get hold of this book and study this. Of course, study this with the help of a teacher. You just read this, you will not get anything. Okay, so these books available. With these books, then you will know that Nagarjuna's philosophy is not nihilistic. The Nagarjuna philosophy is not idealistic. They're so precious for your own well-being, to free yourself from the fears of samsara, the tears of samsara, and eventually attain the full awakening, where your Buddha natures awaken fully. 51. Abiding of mind which has no object is defined as the characteristic of space. Say, when you see the emptiness, the mind which sees emptiness directly was the object. Emptiness is the object. So what is that emptiness like? There's like a space. There's nothing to say that this is it or this is not. It's just like the space. It's defined as the characteristic of a space. So they accept that meditation on emptiness is in fact a meditation of space. So there's a reference made when you are into the meditative experience of emptiness. This is also referred to as the space-like meditation. Space-like meditation, which means actual experience with emptiness when you are in the non-dual meditation on emptiness. 52. With the lion's roar of emptiness, all pronouncements are frightened. So when somebody like the Buddha, or like Nagarjuna, or like Lama Tsongkhapa, when these great teachers, when they teach on emptiness, it's extremely convincing. That is like a lion's roar. Text on this. With the lion's roar of emptiness, all pronouncements, all other teachers, what they teach, when they teach something, they feel frightened to see that the wisdom of emptiness is extremely profound and powerful. Wherever such speakers reside, there emptiness lies in wait. To whom consciousness is momentary, to them it cannot be permanent. Of course, when the consciousness, or mind, when you see that your mind is momentary, it cannot be permanent. So if the mind is impermanent, how could it be inconsistent with emptiness? So where you can speak about the mind is impermanent through the understanding of the impermanence. Through understanding the impermanence, you can understand the emptiness. But understanding impermanence per se is not the understanding of emptiness. Many people, when they explain emptiness, they say that, look, everything is impermanent. So simply explaining impermanence, they think that this is emptiness. This is too naive. This is not understanding emptiness. And so understanding of impermanence will help us to take us there to the emptiness of understanding of emptiness, but not that emptiness experience. The understanding of impermanence per se is not the experience understanding of emptiness. So if the mind is impermanent, how could it be inconsistent with emptiness? Understanding impermanence of mind and understanding emptiness of mind, these two, there is no inconsistency there. These two are compatible. Because of impermanence, you can understand emptiness. 54. In brief, the Buddha uphold the mind to be impermanent. How would they not uphold that it is empty as well? So because the Buddha taught that the mind is impermanent, we, the disciples of the Buddha who understood Buddha's teachings, they should be able to say that the mind is empty. Therefore, because the mind is impermanent, therefore the mind should be empty of objective existence. 55. From the very beginning itself, the mind never had any intrinsic nature. So when did it's not that the Buddha made the mind as empty of objective reality. No. The reality of the mind is empty of intrinsic reality since even before the Buddha became a Buddha. So that's a reality. The Buddha only discovered this reality, not that the Buddha invented this reality. From the very beginning itself, the mind never had any intrinsic nature. It is not being stated here that an entity which possesses intrinsic existence somehow lacks this. Raven, this is just not. It is not being stated here that it's not, what happens? 55, I think. 55. Yes. It is not being stated here that an entity which possesses intrinsic existence somehow lacks it. And so what is being said here is that, okay, the mind exists intrinsically. And the Buddha came. No, the Buddha said, no, the mind does not exist intrinsically. This is not how the mind is said to be empty of intrinsic reality. But the Buddha exists or not, and the mind has been empty of intrinsic reality since the beginningless time. The only thing is that the Buddha came and Buddha discovered it. Okay. For example, say the president of America, say Mr. A. Till the Mr. A is elected as a president, Mr. A is non-president. After election, oh, now you become the president. Earlier you are not president, now you become president. This is not like that. So the mind, earlier you are intrinsically real. Now the Buddha came and he said the mind is empty of intrinsic reality. So therefore the mind becomes intrinsic reality. This is not the case. But whether Buddha come or not come, since time immemorial, the mind and nothing exists objectively. Everything is empty of intrinsic reality. The only difference is that the Buddha came and discovered that everything lacks intrinsic reality. 56. If one asserts this, one abandons the locus of selfhood in the mind. So if you understand in this form, then you see that locus meaning that there's some essence there as a mind, selfhood meaning some intrinsic from the self of the mind can be rejected. It is not the nature of things to transcend one's own intrinsic nature. It's not that things are actually intrinsically real and then you transcend it. No, it's just not. It is actually right from the beginning. The very nature of the things is being empty of intrinsic nature. 57. Just as sweetness is the nature of molasses and heat the nature of fire, likewise we maintain that the nature of all phenomena is empty of intrinsic reality. This is the nature. Fire is to burn, and the water to flow, the air to float. So likewise, the nature of all phenomena is empty of intrinsic reality. That everything is subjective reality, subjective real. 58. When one speaks of emptiness as a nature of phenomena, one in no sense propounds nihilism. So when you say emptiness, there's not nihilism. Why? What we said earlier, It's an emptiness is the meaning of dependent origination, and dependent origination is the meaning of the middle way. So emptiness should be understood as the middle way, not nihilism. By the same token, one does not propound eternalism or absolutism either, because it is emptiness means middle way. Emptiness means a dependent origination, and dependent origination means middle way. Middle way means freed from the two extremes, the extreme of absolutism and extreme of nihilism. 59. Starting with ignorance, now the 12 links of dependent origination. 12 links. Most of you already know this book, The Blaze of Non-Dual Bodhicittas, and from Shantideva Center or others. If you're not aware of this book, you can get a soft copy of this book for free. Anybody can download this soft copy, download this book for free. So here there's a description of the 12 links of dependent origination. Okay, it's on page 328, the Wheel of Life. Page 328, the Wheel of Life, and the all descriptions there. So this book is very precious. You'll not find it anywhere, not even in Amazon. So you can download it for free. If you want to know how to download it for free, you contact Tibet House, our staff here, Tinzi, Tinzi, the Rabiana is here, and also we have Tinzi Namdula is here. They can help you. Okay. So with this in mind, this wheel, starting with the 59, this starting with ignorance. So the 12th link starts from ignorance. Ignorance, then the karma, then consciousness, name and form, sources, contact, feeling, the attachment, grasping, then the becoming, birth, aging and death. The 12 links are there, starting with ignorance and ending with aging and death, all processes that arise from the 12 links of dependent origination, we accept them to be like a dream and an illusion. The 12 links, because they're cause and effect. Cause effect means that there's no dependency is there, dependent origination. There's no independent reality. So because there's no independent reality, there's no absolute reality. So if it is not absolute, it is conventional. So therefore it's illusion-like. This wheel, 60, this wheel with 12 links rolls along the road of cyclic existence. Outside this, they cannot be sentient beings experiencing the fruits of their deeds. So, say these 12 links operate. The one thing, the dream and the dream-like, what's the difference? The dream is also coming from your subject, your mind, and the dream-like, the world, samsara is also coming from your mind. Both are subjective real, but what's the difference? If both are subjective real, what's the difference? In the dream, this is dream. A dream symbolizes or dream represents nihilism. In dream, anything can happen. For example, say you can fly. Actually, we cannot fly, but you jump and then you fly. So they say in dream, the cause and effect is defined. Whereas in the dreamlike waking state, although the dreamlike is projected by your mind, is only subjective real, but the dreamlike within that, the cause and effect is efficaciously operating or infallibly operating. There's the infallible operation of the cause and effect, or the conventional operation is there, which is undeniable cause and effect is operating, whereas in the dream, the cause and effect is defined. So this difference. So dream symbolizes nihilism, and the waking state, although both are subjective, but the waking state symbolizes the middle way. So it says that this wheel with 12 links rolls along the road of cyclic existence. Yes, where there's ignorance, we have to follow the 12 links. We have to suffer. You remove the ignorance, you'll be liberated from samsara. You will come out of the wheel. Rolls along the road of cyclic existence. Outside this wheel, by getting away from the ignorance, by the wisdom, you get out of the ignorance and they get out of samsara, get out of this wheel. Outside this, they cannot be sentient being experience the fruits of their deeds. All experience the fruits of this, the contaminated karmas stops when you get out of the wheel. By getting away from ignorance. How? By cultivating the wisdom. 61. Just as in dependence upon a mirror. So what exactly is like how everything is described as purely subjective, nothing from the object? How? Just as in dependence upon a mirror, everything is operating dependently. Just as in dependence upon a mirror, a full image of one's face appears. For example, so you're here and the mirror is, say, 5 meters away from you. And the reflection of your face falls there. It's not that your face moves there. There's no intrinsic face moving to the mirror. It's where the mirror is there, the light is there, and your face is here, but depends on these factors, reflections is automatically created. So this is how all phenomena arise, but dependence on other factors. Nothing intrinsically real exists. A full image of one's face appears. The face does not move onto the mirror. Yet without it, without this face, there's no image of the face. Image of the face invariably arises, but depends on these factors. 62. Likewise, aggregates recompose in a new existence. So you have the aggregates, and these aggregates combine together, and then you get a feeling that there's a person there. There's my mother there, my father there, husband, wife, children, all these things are there. Actually, what is really there is just the aggregates, element of the 5 aggregates. Likewise, aggregates recompose in a new existence. Yet the wise meaning those who understand emptiness, always understand that no one is born in anything. No one is intrinsically born there. Besides your mental projection, there's nothing really intrinsically being born there to another existence, nor does someone transfer to such existence. 63. In brief, from empty phenomena, now then the question is asked. If nothing is subjective, then what is really there? Then how is the cause and effect operating? So the Buddha gives the analogy of, say, the magician creating a magical illusion. Magician creating a magical illusion. And that magical illusion, within magical illusion, there is the magician, he creates the magical illusion where there is there's another magician there. It's a magical illusion. And that second magician also creates another illusion. So that illusion is created by another illusion. So likewise, one illusion in the form of cause and effect is creating another illusion of the results. So the illusion like the aggregates, like the atoms, they're also like illusion. They combine together, they create another illusion like human being, food, flowers, house, and so forth. But let us not say that nothing exists. Things exist. Things exist purely like illusion. They do exist. So illusion and illusion-like. While both are subjective real, illusion, it defies cause and effect. Illusion-like, cause and effect is not defined. Cause and effect operate so efficaciously. Okay. 63. In brief, from empty phenomena, meaning illusion-like phenomena, another empty phenomena or illusion phenomena arises. Asian karma fruits and the enjoyer, the conqueror meaning the Buddha, taught these to be only conventional or like illusion. 64. Just as the sound of a drum, again, another example given how the sound of the drum arises, but depends on many factors. How the shoot arises, but depends on many factors. How just the sound of the drum and the shoot are produced from a collection of factors. We accept the external world of dependent origination to be like dream and an illusion. That phenomena are born from causes can never be inconsistent with facts, since the causes, the cause and effect efficacy is there, but even the cause is also like dream. That phenomena born from cause can never be inconsistent with the facts. Since the cause is empty of cause, empty of intrinsic cause, we understand that it will be empty of origination. Because the cause is like illusion, what comes out of this cause, origination, is also like illusion. 66. The non-origination of all phenomena is clearly taught to be emptiness, meaning that non-origination, no intrinsic origination. This is known as the emptiness. In brief, the five aggregates are denoted by the expression all phenomena. 67. When the ultimate truth is explained as it is, the convention, okay, now the two truths. Heart Sutra, the Buddha taught, form is empty. Emptiness, form. Emptiness is not other than form. Form is also not other than emptiness. So here, when the Buddha taught, form is empty. Here, the Buddha taught the ultimate truth. Form is empty of objective reality. Empty of objective reality, this is the ultimate truth. Second, emptiness is form. While objectively is empty, but subjectively it is form. Emptiness is form. Here, the Buddha taught the conventional truth. So, say this flower is empty, meaning this flower is empty of objective existence. Empty of objective existence, that is the ultimate truth. And the emptiness is the flower. Objectively it is empty, but subjectively it is flower. That is conventional truth. So these two realities, they don't contradict each other. These two are complementary. If I say that this flower is lying close to Mr. A, and then you run there and say that, oh, this flower is mine. You run and say, this flower is mine. This is another way of saying that this flower is not yours. So when you say this mine, in a way you are saying this is not yours. If you say it's not yours, it's very offensive, it's very rude. But if you say it's mine, it's a nice way of saying it's not yours. So these are actually the same. Likewise, you say that the flower does not exist objectively versus the flower exists subjectively. These two mean the same. When you say the flower exists subjectively, it is another way of saying it is empty of objective reality. So these two don't contradict, instead these two are complementary. 67. When the ultimate truth is explained as it is, the conventional is not obstructed. Conventional truth, form is empty, this ultimate truth. Emptiness of form, this conventional truth. These two don't obstruct each other. These two don't contradict each other. Independent of the conventional, no ultimate truth can be found. Ultimate truth and conventional truth, these two are same. What's ultimate truth? Emptiness of objective existence. What is a conventional truth? Subjective existent flower. So these two complement each other, they don't contradict each other. 68. The conventional is taught to be emptiness. So what is conventional? Meaning that what is subjectively conventional existent? Subjective existence mean the same. What is subjective existence? The meaning of emptiness of objective reality. What is emptiness itself is the conventional, meaning that what is empty of objective existence means conventionally things exist. One does not occur without the other. These two are complementary to each other, just as being produced and impermanent. Impermanent phenomena and the product, produced meaning product, these two are synonymous. What is impermanent should be a product, what is a product should be impermanent. These two are synonymous. Likewise, conventional truth, ultimate truth, these two cannot be divorced. These two exist as complementary to each other. When you say that, this is subjective existence of flower, in a way you are saying that this flower is empty of objective existence. Empty of objective existence is the ultimate truth of the flower, and that the subjective existence of flower is the conventional truth. These two are complementary to each other. 67. The conventional arises so here the convention, meaning the conventions of your samsara. All these miseries, conventions of miseries arise from afflictions and karmas. And afflictions and karmas arise from the mind, meaning the karmas is nothing, so wanting to harm others, wanting to help others. These are all mental state. The mind is accumulated by the propensities, and how some people, when when a poor person comes, some people act in a very compassionate way, some people act in a very rude way. Why these differences arise? Because of the propensities. What kind of imprints you have laid, you have brought from the past life. If you have been extremely kind in your past life, in this life, naturally, when you see another person suffering, then the the seed, propensities of compassion gets activated, and you will immediately go to help other person. Whereas, let's say the bad habits are built from the past life, harming others in the past, then the propensity of harming others will be activated to create more harms on the other person. The mind is accumulated by the propensities. When free from propensities, these propensities of the contaminated karmas, when you're freed from these propensities of the afflictions, when you're freed from these, that is the ultimate happiness. When freed from propensities, it is happiness. A happy mind is tranquil. So with this happiness, your mind will be tranquil. A tranquil mind is not confused. When your mind is very tranquil and peaceful, you're not confused. To have no confusion is to understand the truth. When the confusion is unsettled, you have seen the reality. By understanding the truth, one attains freedom, liberation. 71. It is described as suchness, as that. So what is this emptiness? This emptiness has many synonyms. So these are some of the synonyms. It is described as suchness, emptiness or suchness, reality limit, emptiness, the ultimate. This is the final limit of the reality limit. As signlessness, silence meaning that in emptiness, you wake up from the sleep, you come out of the dream, and all the different, say the different aspects, signs of the dream, in the dream, they all dissolve, they become signlessness. As the ultimate truth, as a supreme awakening mind, sometimes so referred to as the supreme awakening mind, it is described also as emptiness. These are the synonyms of the emptiness. 72. Those who do not understand emptiness are not receptive vehicles for liberation. If you don't understand emptiness, no way by which you can attain liberation. Such ignorant beings will revolve in the prison of samsara of the 6 classes of beings endlessly. 73. So in this life, we are so lucky that, number one, that His Holiness the Dalai Lama, we are breathing the same air as His Holiness. We are treading the same planet Earth as His Holiness the Dalai Lama, number one. Number two, that we have, because of His Holiness, we come to hear about Nalanda all the time. And because of which, we felt the, say, Lama Yeshe and the Lama Sobarambache, they were being inspired. That's why His Holiness to create such centers as FPMT, like the Shantideva Center. Because of the centers, then the people, people have a place to go to, a safe haven for your spiritual journey. And because of this, we come together in this. So we see that this is all happening because of of course, His Holiness, primarily, it was His Holiness's the blessings, and then we come in contact with this Nalanda tradition. So why not we make the most of having met with all these circumstances, all the favorable circumstances in your favor, in favor of your growth. When we meet with these circumstances, why not we make the most of this, try to understand emptiness? Because this is a situation where we met with the teacher of emptiness, and then without the emptiness, there's no liberation. We continue to shed tears of sadness, life after life, endlessly. So it's a great opportunity for us to somehow to make sure that in this life we get some understanding, glimpse of emptiness. For that, we require systematic studies, as we just like 2 or 3 sessions, 4 sessions of a teaching on emptiness will not help. So this is like just like a introduction, and from this we should be inspired to go for more systematic studies. Okay. 73. When this emptiness is explained, is thus meditated upon by the yogis. Once you understand this, reflect on this, you're convinced, and then you meditate, you become a yogi. Yogi does not mean, somebody who is very, like, they meditates and so forth. No, it's not. Yogi is a mental yogi who actually exercise one's mind so well to meet with the union. Yogi has gone to union with the ultimate. So you have the union with the ultimate ultimate reality. That's the real meaning of the yogi, not just someone who can do physical exercise with a flexible body. Is thus meditated upon by the yogi, no doubt they will arise in them a sentiment attached to others. But okay, now from here, it's easy. The technical part are all done. So they say somebody who understands emptiness properly, when that person meditates on emptiness, your anger, all the afflictions subside, including anger. When the anger subsides, when the ego subsides, this will leave room for your compassion to grow. So it says that no doubt they will arise in them a sentiment attached to others' welfare, meaning compassion. Compassion, no doubt compassion will arise in them when one experiences emptiness. Center form. Towards those beings who have bestowed benefit upon me, okay, now it's all about the compassion part. Say, now the need to do so thus far is about the practice of the wisdom. Now the practice of the method or the compassion. So how to meditate on compassion? Compassion, say, how we meditate on compassion is by the first thing is that compassion is marked by a feeling of closeness. We have to build this feeling of closeness. We have to meditate to build the feeling of closeness towards all the sentient beings. Once you feel close, then when you see the other beings as suffering, that feeling of closeness will manifest in the form of compassion, wishing others to be freed from suffering. So how to build this feeling of closeness towards others? This is the key. Following the Bodhisattva path, the key is how to build a feeling of closeness towards others. This is a key. This is a very important point. Okay, anyone who likes to share with us how to build this feeling of closeness or feeling of affection towards all the other sentient beings? How? Anyone? Anyone? Quick. Huh? Jeffrey La.
Yes, Geshe-la, by relying on the 7-point cause and effect instruction for realizing the mind that aspires to enlightenment, or relying on equalizing and exchanging self with others practice.
Okay, 2 methods of bodhicitta. So if somebody can summarize, just share us the gist as to what is the key there in these 2 methods, which will help us to really feel this affection towards all the beings. Anyone? These 2 methods are there. Srindawala.
Isla, I think seeing and knowing the benefits of sentient beings. How
Wonderful. So the key lies, this is so important. We need to oftentimes say you find that people, even many authors who write books on compassion and so forth, they will say that, oh, the ultimate answer is practice compassion towards all the beings, give up everything. So as taught here, that how do you give up? They don't know how to give up everything. And how to extend compassion to all the beings. No solution shared, no solution given, no answer given. So how to do that? That is something which we wise people should really they look for that. How to make it happen? Just by saying that, oh, we should have unconditional love towards all the beings, don't be selfish, discard the selfish, shed the ego. But how to shed the ego? That is a key. How to embrace all other beings' love and affection, that is so important. So for this, the key in both the cases, in both the methods, as Jeffrey said, the 7-fold cause of a method to generate bodhicitta and a method of equalizing and exchanging self for others to generate bodhicitta. Both the methods there, we see one key point employed there. That is that, say, in this world, who on the earth you have seen genuinely feel a profound compassion to somebody else in this world on a large scale, not just one individual person. One individual person can be an exception. On a large scale, it is the mother and children affection. This is so commonly seen, mother and children affection. Particularly when the child is very young, when the child is already age 14, 16, 17, 18, is very complicated. So the age 4, 5, 6, 7, right? That is a beautiful, the moment of the mother's love, the child's affection towards mother and mother's love towards the child. This beautiful moment. So here we have Emmy. Emmy raise hand. Yes, yes. And Emmy and her daughter, as I've seen them when her daughter was just age Zomba, when she was age 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I've seen that the relationship is was so beautiful. So it has been few years that I've not met them now. So now she must be in the late 20s. So what I'm saying was that those the relation between the mother and daughter, mother and the child when the child was just such a young, tender age 7, 8, 9, 10, the relation is so beautiful. And this child, who is that child? Each one of us. And these, okay, how many of you, when you were age 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, your love towards your mother was extremely strong? Raise hands. Raise hands. Your love towards your mother was so strong when you were age on the 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, I'm not talking about when you're 14, 15, 16, 17. I'm talking about when you were age, they say 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Very strong. Okay. Now let me take you even say in back in time, even more back in time. That is day one you are born. Day one you are born, how many you loved your mother? How many you embraced your mother? Day one you are born. Raise hands. No one. No one embraced your mother, right? Day one you are born. Day one. For you, day one you are born. There's no difference between your mother picking you up or a nurse picking you up. There's no difference, right? Okay. So, which means that you did not love your mom. Day one you're born, you did not love your mom. But within the span of 3, 4, 5 years time, you develop such intense love towards your mother. So what was that mechanism? How you build this love, intense love towards the mother within the span of 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years time? Anyone? So as the Ishidawala, no, Srindawala, as Srindawala said, that this young child, you do just see if you agree with Srindawala, that this young child, you as 1-year-old child, 1-year-old girl or a boy, within a span of, 1-day-old child, within a span of 4, 5, 6, 7 years time, you see that this mother is a source of benefit for you. Whenever you are in problem, this mother jumps to rescue you. When you're hungry, mother gives you something to eat. Whenever you're cold, mother wraps you up. If you agree with these $3 hands, that's true. Okay, so this is how we develop this enormous love and affection towards the mother, by seeing the mother's contribution towards you. That seeing the mother is a source of benefit. Now with this, the two methods employed, which Jeffrey indicated, in both cases, you deliberately try to reflect on the points of how all the sentient beings have been enormously beneficial to you. Meditate on the benefits that you get from all the sentient beings. So when you feel that, then you can truly feel it. It should not be fabricated. It should not be just exaggerated. It should be a reality, that the reality that you should be convinced of, that you get so much of benefit from all the beings. Then nothing can stop you from your affection flowing towards all the beings. Okay, so this is the point that we need to remember when meditating on bodhicitta. So with this in mind, send a forum towards those beings who have bestowed benefits upon benefits. So this is the key here. Said that we benefited so much from the beings, me in the past, such as through being my parents or friends, I shall strive to repay the kindness. 75. To those beings who are being scorched by the fire of afflictions in existence's prison, just as I've given them suffering in the past, it is befitting today that I give them happiness. So thus far, I've been creating problems to them for my own survival. Now, realizing that they've been all being my parents, my mothers, and so forth, it is befitting that I give them the happiness. 76, the fruits that are desirable or undesirable in the form of fortunate or unfortunate birth in the world, they come about from helping sentient beings or harming them. So now the law of karma. How you do harms, miseries befalling you. How you do benefit, give benefit, happiness befalling you. So benefit beings if you want happiness. Don't harm others if you don't want miseries. 77. 77, 78. If by relying upon the sentient beings, the unexcelled state Buddhahood is brought about. And this is the greatest of the benefit that you get. Greatest of benefit that you get, the Buddhahood, which is the ultimate happiness, infinite happiness. And this is because of a practice of compassion towards beings. So your Buddhahood is given to you by the kindness of others beings. Unexcelled state of Buddhahood is brought about. So what is so astonishing about the fact that whatever the prosperities there are in gods and humans, such as those enjoyed by Brahma, Indra and Rudra, and the worldly guardians of the world, there's nothing in this triple world systems that is not brought forth by helping others. So everything good that happens in the world is by helping others. 79. As hell beings, as animals, as hungry ghosts, the different kinds of sufferings which sentient beings experience, these come about from harming others. 80. Hunger, thirst, and attacking each other, and the agony of being tormented, which are difficult to avert and unending, these are the fruits of harming others. 81. Just as there is Buddhahood, awakened mind, and a fortunate birth on the one hand, and the unfortunate birth on the other, know that the karmic fruition of beings too is twofold. Karmic fruition, be good, misery, happiness as karmic fruition happens. Be unkind, miseries happen to you as karmic fruitions, they're twofold. 82. Support others with all possible factors. Help others. Protect them as you would your own body. Detachment towards, so here detachment means aversion. Aversion towards other sentient beings must be shunned as you would poison. Meaning that have no aversion. Never ever hold a feeling of grudge or animosity or anger towards other beings. 83. Because of their detachment, because of the say the arhats, Shravakas are predicate with arhats, and their affection to sentient beings so less. So this is known as detachment. Because of their detachment, did the disciples, many Shravakas not attain lesser awakened. They could not attain Buddhahood. They attain only the arhat nirvana. They say the Shravaka nirvana, not the Buddhahood. Why? Because they do not have the affection towards the beings. By never abandoning the sentient beings, the fully awakened Buddhas attained awakening. It is only by embracing the sentient beings with total love and affection that one can become a Buddha. 84. Thus, when one considers the occurrences of the fruits of benefits, beneficial, non-beneficial deeds, how can anyone remain, even for an instant, attached only to one's own welfare? So one attached only one's own welfare, the benefit you get is so less. You work with welfare of all sentient beings, benefit is enormous. So why don't you go for the enormous benefit by embracing all other sentient beings? 85. Rooted firmly because of compassion and arising from the shoot of awakening mind, the true awakening, that is the soul fruit of altruism, this the conqueror's children cultivate. Conquerors meaning Buddhas. Buddha's children, referring Bodhisattvas, they cultivate this awakening. 86. When through practice it becomes firm, then alarmed by others' suffering, Bodhisattvas renounce the bliss of concentration. So when the Bodhisattvas, out of great compassion towards the beings, when they see that the beings are suffering, they are ready to renounce anything of the good thing that you have, even including the meditation. And the Bodhisattvas renounce the bliss of concentration and plunge even to the depths of relentless hells to protect the sentient beings. 87. This is indeed amazing. Praiseworthy it is. This is excellent way of the sublime Buddhas. that they give away their own flesh and wealth is not surprising at all. So they dare to do anything for the better for the sentient beings. The way and the manner in which in the conventional world, the mothers would be so ready to sacrifice everything for their children. 88. Those who understand, okay, now the 88 is the measure of having understood emptiness. So when you say emptiness, or then you may be studying, reflecting, meditating on emptiness, and you may be wondering, so how do I know that I have realized emptiness? So what it says here, the mark of having understood emptiness. Those who understand the emptiness of phenomena, you're also conformed to the law of karmas and results. After rejecting intrinsic reality, nothing exists intrinsically, everything exists subjectively. At the same time, your respect for law of karma increases. So this indication that your understanding of emptiness is going in the proper direction. That is more amazing than amazing. That is more wondrous than wondrous. Those who wish to save sentient beings, even if they are reborn in the miles of existence, they are not sullied by the stains of its events, just like the petals of the lotus born in a lake. Although you are born in such the destitute situation, but wanting to help the sentient beings, your mind is never sullied by the selfish interests. 19. Though bodhisattvas such as Samantabhadra have burned the wood of afflictions, bodhisattvas, they've already removed the afflictions completely, self-grasping all matters, and they've attained nirvana. They attained the total liberation. But with the wisdom of fire of emptiness, they still remain moistened by compassion. So wisdom of emptiness and compassion, they go compatibly in the case of bodhisattvas. 91. Those under the power of compassion display acts of departing. Okay, now when you become a Buddha, then you display the Buddha's deeds, enlightened deeds. Display acts of departing, birth and merriment, renouncing kingdom, engaging in ascetic penance, great awakening and defeating the Maras, turn to the Buddha Dharma, enter the realm of all gods, and likewise display the act of going beyond the bounds of sorrow. In guises of Brahma, Indra, and Vishnu, when you become a Buddha, you can take the form of different forms like as a Brahma, as Indra, Vishnu, and so forth to help the beings. And that of fierce Rudra forms, they perform the compassionate dance with acts bringing peace to the beings. For those disheartened on existence's road, is meaning samsara. For those disheartened by samsara's road, samsara's path, for their respite, the two wisdoms that lead to the great vehicle had been taught. They are, however, not ultimate. So, say for example, teaching on impermanence, teaching on the emptiness of permanent unity, independent self, teaching on the emptiness of autonomous substantial reality. All these levels of wisdom are taught, but they are not the ultimate teachings. Ultimate teachings that teach on the wisdom of emptiness. 95. As long as not exhorted by the Buddhas, so long the disciples will remain in a bodily state of wisdom. Say the Shravakas and Pradik Buddhas, when they goal is to attain nirvana, liberation for themselves. So finally, when they sit in this meditation to attain the nirvana, they attain nirvana and they still sit there. Then the Buddhas with their the Buddhas snap, and then they're awakened. Then the Buddha said that you have still not completed your journey. Your journey is to attain Buddhahood. Don't feel complacent without ever attained just nirvana. You have a Buddhahood to attain. So 95, as long as not exhorted by the Buddhas, so long the disciples here many Shravakas, will remain in a bodily state of wisdom, in a swoon, in a meditative state, equipoise, intoxicated by absorption, meditative absorption. When exhorted, when the Buddhas with a snap wakes them up, then in diverse forms they will become attached to others' welfare. Attached meaning they will become compassionate to engage in welfare of others. They will follow the Bodhisattva path. And if they get the stores of merit and wisdom, they will attain the Buddha's full awakening. 97, because the propensities of two obscurations, afflictive obscurations and conjunctive obscurations exist, these propensities are referred to as seeds of existence, seeds of samsara. From the meeting of the seeds with conditions, the shoot of cyclic existence or samsara is produced. 98, the path revealed by the saviors of the world that follow the pattern of beings' mentalities differ variously among the diverse people. So the different teachings were given by the Buddha to suit the diverse, the audience or the people due to the diverse methods employed by the Buddhas. The instructions differ as the profound and as the vast. Buddha's teachings can be seen on two. One is the profound, which is wisdom, and the vast, meaning the method side, compassion, bodhicitta, and so forth. These two are required. The wisdom is to give you the eyes to see, give you the direction, and the method to give you the energy. So we require say, somebody with the proper direction, with the energy, can then walk along the desired goal. So the energy will be given by the method side, like bodhicitta and so forth, and the direction will be given by the wisdom. So these two teachings are given by the Buddha. Instructions differ as the profound, the wisdom, as the vast, the method. On some occasions, an instruction is categorized by both. Though such diverse approaches are taught, they are all equal in being empty and non-dual. So although these diverse teachings were given, but ultimately what we need to see is that the non-duality, that everything is empty of true existence. 100. The retention powers and the bodhisattva levels, as well as the perfection of the Buddhas, the omniscient ones taught these to be aspects of the awakened mind. So with all these amazing qualities like retention powers, the bodhisattvas, different bodhisattva levels, the 10 bodhisattva grounds, and the qualities of Buddhas, all will be attained by the seed. The initial trigger is the bodhicitta, awakening mind of the bodhicitta. So this will then give rise to all these amazing qualities. 101. Those who fulfill others' welfare in this way, constantly through their body, speech, and mind, who advocate the dialectic of emptiness, there's no dispute at all of being nihilistic. So those bodhisattvas following this path and say constantly acting out of compassion, and meanwhile seeing emptiness. Emptiness is not the nihilism. It is nihilism. They will not engage in the bodhisattva path of benefiting others. 102. Neither in single existence nor in nirvana do the great beings reside. So the bodhisattvas, when they become enlightened, what they do is that they don't exist in the two extreme existences, two extremes of existence. One extreme is samsara, and the other extreme is personal nirvana. These two are one is the extreme of suffering, one is the extreme of peace. Extreme peace meaning personal nirvana, and the extreme of suffering is samsara. So the bodhisattvas will not reside in these two states. So how they will not reside in these two states? In samsara is so painful. In personal nirvana is very selfish. You are not helping the sentient beings. So these are two extremes. So how they stay away from the extreme of samsara is by seeing emptiness. By seeing emptiness, they will be free from samsara. How they don't stay in the extreme of the personal selfish, the nirvana, is by compassion. Compassion will save them from staying in the personal nirvana, partial nirvana. So what will they do? They will go to attain the highest enlightenment, which is known as the non-abiding nirvana. Nirvana, not abiding in the two extremes. Non-abiding nirvana. So it says, neither in single existence nor in nirvana do the great beings reside, the bodhisattvas reside. Therefore, the Buddhas taught here the non-abiding nirvana. Nirvana, Buddhahood in the form of nirvana, which is freed from two extremes. Extreme of the miseries, which is samsara, and extreme of personal selfish nirvana. And selfish nirvana is nothing good. It's just a partial awakening. It's not full awakening. So, and they will attain the non-abiding nirvana. 103. The single taste of compassion is merit. The taste of emptiness is most excellent. Those who drink the elixir of emptiness to realize self and others' welfare are conquerors' children, bodhisattvas. So, as somebody who aspires bodhisattva path, we have to follow the practice of bodhicitta and also make sure to drink the nectar of the wisdom of emptiness. 104. Bow to them with your entire being. They are always worthy of honor in the three worlds. These guides of the world reside as these guides who? The Bodhisattvas. Bow to the Bodhisattvas with the entire being. The Bodhisattvas are always worthy of honor in the three worlds. The Bodhisattvas guide the world, guide the world, guide the world, the guides of the world. What they do is they reside as representatives of the Buddhas. 105. This awakened mind is stated to be the higher ideal integrated vehicle. So with an absorbed, determined effort, generate this awakening mind of bodhicitta. 106. To accomplish self and others' welfare, no other means exist in the world apart from the awakened mind. If anybody who is generous bodhicitta, awakened mind bodhicitta, that's the best way by which to accomplish the greatest of the benefit for yourself and the greatest benefit for others. So accomplishing that state, because of driven by bodhicitta, is known as the state of the perfection of two benefits: perfection benefit for yourself, perfection benefit for others. To date, the Buddha saw no other means other than the bodhicitta. 107. The merit that is obtained from mere generation of awakened mind. If you generate bodhicitta, what is the merit amount of the merit like? If it were to assume a form, if this bodhicitta that you generate has a physical form, it will fill more than the expanse of the space. 108. A person who for an instant meditates on the awakened mind, the heap of merit obtained from this, not even the conquerors can measure. A precious mind that is free from afflictions, this is the most unique and excellent jewel. It can be neither harmed nor stolen by such robbers as the amount of afflictions. When the bodhicitta arises, it will be so powerful that in the afflictions, they will be shattered because of this bodhicitta. Afflictions will become powerless. 1010. Just as aspirations of the Buddhas and the Bodhisattvas are unswerving, likewise those who immerse themselves in bodhicitta must hold firm their thought. 111. Even with wonder you should strive, as explained here in the preceding lines. Thereafter you will yourself realize some of the Buddha's great enlightened deeds, meaning that even with wonder, say, amazing is the bodhicitta. Just feel the wonder of thinking about bodhicitta. So if that happens, then you'll realize some of the Bodhisattvas, the Bodhisattvas, some of the Bodhisattvas, the great enlightened deeds. 112. By praising the awakened mind hailed by the excellent conquerors, the incomparable merits I've obtained today from this act, through this, may all sentient beings submerged in the waves of ocean of samsara travel on the path trodden by the leader of the bipeds, there was Buddhas. This text, composed by Nagarjuna, is commentary on a verse from chapter 2 of the root Tantra of Guhya Samaja. It was translated and edited by the Indian abbot Gunakara, and that translated Ravshi Shenye, and was later revised by the Indian abbot Kanagavarma and the Tibetan translator Pasanyama, translated from Tibetan English by Dr. Truden Chimba. Okay, Sneh, would you mind showing the verse from the beginning? As there's a Tibetan tradition to recite from the initial few verses as the indication of auspiciousness, so that the teachings will continue to thrive in the future. Thank you. Comment on the awakened mind. Bodhicittavivāraṇa, Chanchu Simdel by Nagarjuna. Homage to the glorious Vajrasattva, it has been stated, devoid of all substantive entities, utterly discarding all objects and subjects, such as aggregates, elements, and sense sources, due to the sameness of selflessness of all phenomena, one's mind is primordially unborn, it is in the nature emptiness. Just as the blessed Buddhas and the great Bodhisattvas have generated the mind of great awakening, I too shall from now until I arrive at the heart of awakening, generate the awakened mind in order that I may save those who are not saved, free those who are not free, relieve those who are not relieved, and help thoroughly transcend sorrow, those who have not thoroughly transcended sorrow. Okay, we stop here. Thank you, Sneha, and all from Shantideva Center and everyone.
Geshe, shall I finish with the dedication prayers?
Yes, please.
In the land encircled by snow mountains, you are the source of all happiness and good. All-powerful Chenrezig Tenzin Gyatso, please remain until samsara ends. Just as the brave Manjushri and Samantabhadra too realize things as they are, also I dedicate all these merits in the best way that I may follow their perfect example. I dedicate all these roots of virtue with the dedication praised as the best by all the Buddhas who appeared in the 3 times, so that I may perform the noble Bodhisattva's deeds. May the supreme bodhicitta that has not arisen arise and grow, and may that which has arisen not diminish but increase forevermore. By the dependent realization of profound suchness of appearance and emptiness, together with the force of great compassion, of the 3 jewels and the power of the truth and the virtue of infallible law of karmas and their fruits, may this truthful prayer of ours be unhindered and quickly fulfilled. May the teaching of this beneficent one till world's end be unshaken by the winds of evil thoughts. May it always be met by innumerable beings who find conviction in the teacher by understanding the teaching's true nature. May I never falter even for an instant to uphold the excellent way of the sage, which illuminates the principle of dependent origination through all my births, even giving away my body and life. May I spend day and night carefully reflecting by what means can I enhance this teaching achieved by the Supreme Savior through strenuous efforts over countless eons. Throughout my future lifetimes, may I always be guided by Arya Manjushri and be able to uphold the Dharma in general and the teachings on dependent origination in particular, even at the cost of my life. In all my lives, never separated from perfect gurus, may I enjoy the magnificent Dharma. By completing the qualities of the stages and the paths, may I quickly attain the state of Vajradhara. Geshe, I think on behalf of everyone, I think we're so grateful for you bestowing this text in its entirety. That was a lot of verses to go through, and we're so grateful. And very grateful that they're being recorded as well, because at least I will have to listen to them over and over again to really absorb all the information you shared with us. And people are welcome to unmute yourselves if you want to just say hello and goodbye and thank you to Geshe.
And also that let me quickly say, it is end dedication, because the end dedication is set by Disney. Let's also mentally dedicate that all these 4 sessions that we had be dedicated to his long life of His Holiness the Dalai Lama, and that his wishes be fulfilled spontaneously, because that he's the source of ultimate happiness for everyone on this planet Earth. So this should be a prayer, and also that all these the disasters, calamities, man-made disasters, wars, and so forth, let us pray that they will come to an end as soon as possible, that everybody can, take a fresh breath of the relief, and they find peace and restore the sense of confidence, the happiness and peace in the mind. And let's also pray that let's find all these problems, the immediate causes of this, of these miseries. They are because of the wrong thinking, misconceptions, wrong thinking of some of the leaders. So let's pray that the future leaders, they come out of the vision of His Holiness, the universal ethics, today taking the form of sea learning, social, emotional, ethical learning. May this program thrive and flourish in everywhere in the nook and corner, everywhere in the world, so that the future leaders coming out of this program, they will become very sensible leaders, that they will always hold the hands of each other, instead of the throwing missiles to each other. So let us pray in this direction, and also that the teaching on the bodhicitta and teaching wisdom and emptiness thrive in the minds of all demon sentient beings, and that the reincarnation of Lama Zopa Rinpoche be very swiftly happen, and that the young reincarnation be able to serve the humanity as much as his predecessor Lama Zopa Rinpoche did. And may the world finds peace and happiness. May everybody get some sense of the compassion, understanding of interdependency, through understanding interdependency. So this should be our prayer, all of us, for the world. Thank you.
Thank you, Geshe.
Thank you so much, Geshe.
Thank you, Geshe-la. And please, we will request you to come back and teach again very soon.
Yes, please. Please
Many
do.
Geshe. And thank you, Shanti Deva Center.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you, Geshe. Thank you, Geshe.
Thank
So pretty.
you.
Thank you, Sinead. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Happy Mother's
Thank you,
Day.
Snehhi.
I forgot
Thank
to
you.
Oh, happy
wish
Mother's
Geshe-la
Day.
happy Mother's
Thank
Day.
you, Shayla. Shayla, thank you.
Bye-bye.